Hi, welcome to the round 23 preview as the Blues are about to take on the Gold Coast Suns at Heritage Bank Stadium on the Gold Coast. It's quite sad. The season's about to end. We're on the home stretch. It's the home stretch of the season. Wild. A lot has happened, for good and for bad. And I think now we can safely say we wouldn't want it any other way. With still, potentially plenty of footy to play, meaningful footy. It's good to be in this position. We find ourselves on a 8-game winning streak. It truly is remarkable what has happened up until this point, and so many questions have been asked at so many points throughout this season. And there are still some questions to be asked and still some questions to be answered. But this is the beauty of footy. We end up finishing up all in one piece for the most part, maybe with a little bit more stress than what we would have anticipated. But alas, an 8-game winning streak, what are you going to complain about? What is there to complain about there? We've done some really good things as a group, turned it around, and I feel a sense of trust with the group in terms of their commitment. And I think earlier in the season, I was starting to wane on that commitment to each other and that connection piece. And obviously they've had they've been working at it. And, sometimes things don't just happen straight away. Time needs to run its course. Time with effort consistently equals results. And sometimes we just want to know what the one moment was or what was said at the Kerno camp. But I think it was probably happening before then. I think maybe the Kerno camp was just maybe a commitment of sorts to one another, to something greater than themselves. But, you look at the manner in which they apply themselves for 4 quarters now, it's a totally different mentality. And that's something that they've now earned when it comes to that trust. And I now go into every game. I said this last week and even the week before. Bring the heat, that heat, that branded heat that they've been bringing over the last few months. Bring that and lose and can't really complain. It'd take a mighty effort for any team at this point in time to beat Carlton if we are bringing that level of commitment to the defensive side of the game across the ground. And so, can the Suns win this game? Of course. Any team can beat any team on any given day. And, I'm not discrediting anyone. I think this journey with Carlton has given me a real lesson in humility. And, we need to be humble. We needed to be humbled. We were humbled. And I think we will use that now moving forward, hopefully as a team and a club and as a supporter base. I mean, the jabs at each other and the banter, that's different, because that's part of the game and that's the fun of it until people take it too far. But I think there's no reason why any of our players at this point could go into a game cocky, arrogant, or anything like that because of what their whole careers have been up until this point. And I think we actually find ourselves in a really powerful position with that. And it got me thinking as well. I think this year will be the final year that the Blues go into a pointy end of the season as an underdog. Now, whether we play finals or not, I'm pretty sure we're going to play finals. I'm not provided, win this week, lock it up. Results may go away, they may not. But going into a final series, going into a pointy end of the season, like a final fortnight of a season, this will be the last time. It's a different challenge. And there's the notion of being the hunted and the hunters. We have been hunting teams undoubtedly. And I think that dynamic will change over the course of the next few weeks, months, and then even the next few years. But I don't see any reason why our group would go into any game with arrogance to the point that they don't commit to their preparation and themselves and the cause in the way in which they need to, in the way in which they have been. So I go into the game with trust. They're going to bring the heat and let the results take care of itself. I go in with a little bit more confidence now, knowing that at the time of filming this, Harry Mackay is available to play, provided he gets through the week. Jack Silvani will be a test, and it seems like he'll be available to play, and that's just going to free us up so much. And I have to talk about it because it's just been, it's grown legs to the point where I don't understand how. But the fact that it's even a thought that we would consider not having Harry Mackay in this team, it's baffling, especially when it comes from former players, great players, and then, experienced AFL commentators who get paid a lot of money and have more important than the money, it's the platform. It's the platform that they have. And to talk about something like that, for what? To rile up the Carlton supporters, to get clicks, to get engagement? When are we going to move away from that mentality as an industry? I don't know. But the fact that there's even a thought out there that we wouldn't bring Harry Mackay back into the team, pretty baffling. I just think of so many contests over the last few weeks that he's been out where he would help us around the ground. Just forget about the goals for one moment, right? If he came in and kicked 0 goals and just marked the ball 10 times, it would help us tremendously because he needs a high quality defender on him. And, it gives us just the ability to dominate the territory battle because it just gives us so much relief in the air. And we've been missing that. And then, the conversation then goes to, well, who's going to miss out? Initially, I thought, maybe you just drop a Pitto or a Cottrell or a Fogarty or one of these smalls. I don't know. And then I watched the replay against the Ds and you look at some of these guys and what they did in the crunch time and how important they were. The Lockie Fogarty left-handed handball to Cripps that release, and it's going to be hard. But this is what we want because what we have is a situation where we have selection headaches. We have a VFL team that is on the precipice of playing finals football as well. It's a whole club thing. We have a standalone team, and there's a mechanism to this. There's a thought to this. It's the entire club. So we go into this, obviously the seniors, we're pushing for a spot in the 8 and looking to potentially contend for a flag. The VFL program is starting to really bubble and get along, just starting to get some wins at the pointy end of the season. And, for guys that are not playing now because they're early in their careers or because, they just find themselves out of the side, there is still something to be done for the club. And so these conversations are conversations I did not expect to be having before we played the Gold Coast Suns. I actually remember that review clearly. I remember saying, I don't know, we're still a chance, but, whatever happens, happens. And the reality is we're either going to find out who's going to move forward with us, in the future and who's not. And at that point, it was highly unlikely that, we would be in the position we are now. And I'm very grateful that we are in this position right now and it didn't continue going down the path that it was going. And now we have selection headaches and it's great. It's great for the club and it's great for everything and everyone involved. So that's that. The Suns, I don't know what to think of the Suns. I think they're a much better team than 15th. That's what I think about the Suns. I respect what they do. It's always sad to see a club like that part ways with the coach because I know what that's like. I thought Stewie Dew was a really good coach for them and I thought they were really invested in him. But obviously situations have come up. It also shows the negatives of doing that split, before a season ends. Because a new coach that comes in needs time. You've got to build relationships and you've got to go through hardships. And so it's not just you bring in a coach and you're going to start winning premierships. You might get a little bit of a spark like most teams do get for a period of time. And then it gets real again. So that's tough for them. I like them. I have a respect for the Suns. I like a lot of their players, I think. So I'm also going up, flying up to the Gold Coast Saturday morning. I have never been to a game on the Gold Coast. There's a few elements here. I've never seen an interstate win, 1. I've never watched a game in Brisbane or Gold Coast, 2. And yeah, it's a good circuit breaker. It's good to get out of Melbourne into some sun, even though the sun has been showing up in Melbourne. a little bit for the last few days. But I'm pumped. There are a lot of you in Queensland who I've never met. So I will be there nice and early. I might even go check out the pre-game function. Make sure you check out the Cheer Squad. Go on their Instagram profile, their Facebook profile, or their website, and check out the pre-game function. It is a ticketed event, so make sure that if you are going to be attending, that you purchase a ticket, get your raffle tickets, do the whole lot, and just enjoy it and embrace it. You know, whatever's coming our way, it feels and looks like we're on a bit of a streak here, and it is. We're on a bit of a streak, and you know, whatever happens over the next period of time, I'm here for it. You know, as long as they're bringing that application, you know, what can you say? What can you say? So, yeah, that's that. I'm pumped. I really am. I'm excited, and I'm very grateful. What about you? How do you see this game? What do you think about when you think of round 23, 2023? It's weird because the streak started with the Suns. That was the first game. And here we are again playing them 8 or 9 weeks later. So, yeah, share with me your comments and we'll go from there. Go Blues.